Hi, this is Crystal, and I am off to Shambhala here on YouTube, and I am a reseller on eBay and Amazon. I've been consistently reselling on eBay since February of 2014 and have sold a few things on Amazon at this point, and working on building my business to something bigger and better. And I am keeping a journal as I go along. So hopefully by the time you've been introduced to me, I've already been wildly successful, and you're going back to see how I made it happen. So that's the purpose of these journals, is for not only for my own growth as a business person in this particular business, but to help others see what the steps are that you take as an entrepreneur. At least in this business, I would think that a lot of the things that apply to this apply to any business. But also, I want people to see that they can do it with nothing, and that when you're faced with challenges, like, I want people to see how I overcame them. And I think I've always been pretty good at overcoming challenges or sidestepping challenges, finding ways around challenges, and then moving forward. I've had other businesses, and I can honestly say, I'm pretty good at that. So I'm feeling pretty confident that I am going to make this business awesome, and I just hope to inspire you and to help you become more successful. Oh, you know what? I am on the wrong page. Okay, so we're getting ahead. Actually, that probably would have been a good page to start with. But you know what? Okay, this is the way I've had it set up. Again, this is my second journal. I might set it up a little differently every time, and I'm not sure. I'm going to try not to change too much. So as you're watching these, if people are interested in these, there will be some consistency, so you know what to expect. Okay. So I try to show some of my numbers, whatever my most recent numbers are in these journals, because obviously this is a business journal, and the business is about making money. Otherwise, it's a hobby. So I just feel like it's important to always think about the numbers. And so I always want to discuss them in some regard in my journals. So as you can see, the latest end of the month week net was $104, and that was my net. What was the ending date of that week? I don't know. Where am I here? That was October 26th. So that was right before the invoices came due, and so that's why I'm saying it's a pre-eBay fee. I'm doing cash accounting, which is not as accurate, up to date as the other kind of accounting, which is that accrual? Oh boy, I'm gonna have to look that up. I think it's accrual. The accrual system of accounting is actually more accurate because of the way it works, and I'll have to get into that in another video. So, but for those of you that understand the difference between cash and accrual, you'll understand what I'm talking about. But if not, I'll try, whenever I make that video, I'll have to try to remember to leave a link down in the description. Now, and then of course I didn't beat my best end of the month week net, which was $172.51. And again, pre-eBay fees on that one. And my year-to-date net is $11.91. So the numbers are going up, and that's what I like to see. Although I'd like to see them go up by larger margins, and I expect that's going to happen real soon. Now, my achievements for the last 2 weeks, I'm really excited because I've been able to use what I've learned about Amazon from watching other people on YouTube, successful people who are successful on Amazon. I've taken what they've taught me to make a good decision, and I made a great savvy sales decision to list something on Amazon versus eBay, and I listed it at not necessarily the highest price, but the kind of a medium price. Now, part of me really wanted to list it at like maybe just below the highest price, because this item had a great ranking, and there weren't very many of them available. And but I just, because of my desperate situation financially, if you watch my last journal, I decided to sort of go middle high. And you know what? I'm happy though, because it was twice as much money as I would have made on eBay. And I understood the system, and the system works. The system of looking at the ranking and seeing how many are listed, and how to determine where to put your price and all that stuff. I'm just really happy, and so I'm real excited about getting started on Amazon, and I feel like I've got a good starting place now. And I'll tell you, 6 or 7 months ago, when I first started on eBay, I did start on Amazon too, but I didn't understand how to make these kind of decisions then. So I'm real excited about that. And then I also got half of my garage cleaned out, which is where I'm going to be storing a lot of my inventory, my future inventory. So, I don't want to say I'm disappointed because I didn't get it all done, but progress is made, and I just need to notice that first. Okay, so my biggest challenges for the last 2 weeks were pretty much the same as last time. Lack of funds for sourcing. I had kind of hoped that I would make a ton of sales on eBay, and it would cover everything I needed, and then I'd be able to maybe take $30 or something to go source, but it just wasn't coming in. I mean, it's just, I'm down to like nothing's happening on eBay right now. But you know what? It's cool because the last 2 months I've been able to skate without hardly any sourcing, and I've actually done pretty well with all the stuff that I've had listed. So I'm kind of excited about that too. So, yep, and I definitely did not complete a lot of the task-oriented activities that I did. I just spent too much time learning and strategizing. And again, that's not wrong, and I think that's good, but things got to change. I really need to get more focused on task-oriented stuff. I've had a lot of anxiety actually the last week, especially just because it's just really hard to have zero money and just waiting for something to sell for $10 on eBay so you can put gas in your car so you can go to your job the next day, like and then there's like hardly anything to eat in the refrigerator, it's just tough. What can I say? And I kind of was letting it get to me. And so it's like I sort of was running away. I don't know. I mean, I still was doing something positive because I'm also a college student, and I just found out that I can take 30 credits through the CLEP testing system, or I can acquire up to 30 credits toward my degree with the CLEP system, which is amazing because that's going to save me thousands of dollars. We're talking thousands. So it's giving me hope and motivation to continue to work toward that bachelor's degree because, so I ended up spending a lot of that time that I really, away from my business and working on the studying for the CLEP test. However, my degree program is in business management, so it's related. So that's why I'm calling it semi-wasted, and I probably just didn't have to delve into it. Like, I have a tendency to just zero in on something and like have tunnel vision for that one activity. And I've really got to work on my balance. Okay, what could I have done differently? I really could have focused on some free sourcing opportunities. One of the things I'm going to talk about in another slide. You know, and you know what? I think as I start doing these journals, I'm going to get better at prioritizing, but I've got to take the action. It's one thing to recognize the priorities, but but without action to make those priorities happen, it's just, I don't know, it's just rhetoric, really. And I feel like I'm like addicted to thinking about things. Okay, so because I have come to that realization, I have decided that this 2-week period, I'm not going to worry about anything for the future. This is supposed to be sort of like my landing page or my spot to get ideas out of my head that are like future ideas. But I've just decided I'm not even going to think about those. And I just really need to zero in on the now. So one of the things I need to do is I need to get I should have this switched around, this first bullet point item. I need to get Wi-Fi for my tablet. Up until now, I've been doing all my sourcing just by, wishing and hoping, and, learning, just knowing what people have said sells on the YouTube videos, but I don't research things as I'm sourcing, and I have to start doing that. And I have a tablet, and I need to get it hooked up with the Wi-Fi for when I'm outsourcing, because I don't have a smartphone, and I don't feel like, anyways, I don't want to get into it, but I'm going to try using the tablet before I get a smartphone. And then I also want to get hooked up with the Amazon Sellers app because it's free. And apparently it's almost just as good or close to the same as Profit Bandit. So I'm going to go for the free one. It's just the way it's going to go. And I'm going to try one dumpster diving once during the next 2 weeks. And let's see. And again, not doing any bucket list items because that's denoting future in my mind. I've got to change my way of thinking. I've got to take on a strategy that resembles that way of thinking. I've got to, be in the now for a while and not so much in the future. And then I've got a whole nother page coming up next where I'm talking about my strategy plan or, strategy action. And I got to get into retail arbitrage more. So, I'm not afraid of that anymore. I've done a little bit of it, and I'm gonna just, keep my feet wet with retail arbitrage every month. And especially right now, Christmas is coming. It's time to think retail arbitrage. I mean, I would have been thinking retail arbitrage the last 2 months, but the universe made it difficult for me. Yeah, and my festering idea has been to start increasing productivity for the last 3 months. And it's just crazy how things happen that just make it exponentially more difficult. But I don't want to focus on that. I'm not even going to talk about that. So, but I have got to start increasing my productivity now because I know I can make the money doing this, so then I don't have to feel so desperate all the time. So that when I have to spend $1,000 to get my car fixed, well, I can handle it, and I've got more money. I've got money coming in. It doesn't wipe me out, and I have to wait. Okay. Oh boy, we're coming up on 14 minutes. You know what? I think I'm gonna go ahead and do this in 2 because I really don't feel like starting this over. Usually I've already done 2 takes on this, and I'm just going to make another video. So I will have a link on the screen. There should be a link now. Click that link and go over to part 2 of Reseller Journal number 2, where I will talk about my strategy, which I've got outlined on this page, and some other things. I got 2 more slides after this. All right, well, thanks a lot for getting this far, and I hope that I will inspire you somehow. Thanks.